Good evening, baseball fans, and welcome to Lexington High School for another edition of 2024 Lexington Blue Sox baseball. Woo! Love it. Tonight's regular season home finale features the visiting crosstown rival Lexington Bulldogs and your 16-time defending ICL champion, Lexington Blue Sox. To commence tonight's ball games, let us meet this evening's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Lexington Bulldogs. Leading off in right field, number 57, Mike Seiberts. Batting second, the left fielder, number 36, Ruben Siegel. Batting third, starting in center field, number 15, Nick Favazzo. Batting cleanup, playing second base, number 7, Matthew Favazzo. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 51, Evan O'Rourke. Batting sixth and starting at third base, number 24, Jonathan Rodriguez. Batting seventh, the extra hitter, number 50, Evan Brenner. Batting eighth and getting the start at shortstop, number 59, Jaden Valise. Batting ninth, starting at catcher, number 60, Vince Libretto. And batting 10th, the first baseman, number 23, Nana Adu. Starting on the mound for the Bulldogs, number 29, John Maluski. The Bulldogs enter tonight with a record of 7 wins and 14 losses and are led by manager Eric Steinkraus. And now let's meet today's starting lineup for your Lexington Blue Sox. Leading off in right field, number 53, Jake McElroy. Batting second, the extra hitter, number 16, Ben Leonard. Batting third, starting in center field, number 33, Nick Anderson. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter, number 25, Julian Alvarez. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 29, Justin Boslin. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 2, Anderson Jimenez. Batting seventh, your left fielder, number 22, Dom Gabardi. Batting eighth and catching, number 7, Max Dushney. Batting ninth, the shortstop, number 11, Charlie Walsh. And batting 10th, starting at second base, number 4, Dylan Walsh. On the mound for the Blue Sox, wearing number 11, Jake Zawatsky. The Blue Sox enter play today with a record of 16 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie, and are led by manager Rick DeAngelis. Fans, we ask that you stay alert for batted balls and any other objects that can be put out of play. Additionally, we ask all fans to stick to the tenets of good sportsmanship when cheering on your team. We default to the umpiring crew on any and all decisions regarding ejections, and their decisions are final. Without further ado, gentlemen, the field is yours. Let's play ball.
Well, for the final time of the regular season, anyways, the Golden Pipes of Chris Del Sordo welcoming everyone to another edition of Lexington Blue Sox Baseball here on the Blue Sox Baseball Network on YouTube, and now the cubic zirconium pipes of yours truly, Sam Feely, ready to bring you the play-by-play stories. The Blue Sox look to close out their home slate with a win and try to get that much closer to a first-round bye and potentially the #1 seed in the ICL playoffs, coming off the win last night and the completion of the game against the Andre Chiefs. Those 4 runs in the bottom of the third to start play, to resume play. They were down 1-0 after 2.5. A.J. Rourke was pitching a gem to that point. But 4 runs, 3 of which were unearned, proved to be the difference. And the 3 runs later on, leading the Blue Sox to a 7-1 victory over the Chiefs, and that puts them percentage points ahead of the Chiefs in the standings. The Chiefs do have still a 3-point lead in the standings, but they only have 2 games remaining. All the Blue Sox have to do is take care of business If they win out, they've got the #1 seed. The Bulldogs fighting for their playoff lives here towards the end of the season. If they lose this game and the Stoneham Sabres win, then the best the Bulldogs can do with the Sabres is match their record. So the playoffs have already begun for the Bulldogs in that regard, and we'll see how things shake out.
And leading off for the Bulldogs, the right fielder, number 57, Mike Seibert.
Mike Siebert, the right fielder, will lead things off for the Bulldogs, followed by Ruben Siegel in left and Nick Favazzo in center. Jake Zawatsky getting the start on the mound for the Blue Sox. .71 degrees at first pitch, which comes at 8:01. On the outside corner for strike one. We're underway. Home finale officially for the Blue Sox here has popped up the other way into the Bermuda Triangle down the left field line, and that is going to land for a base hit. Diving effort at the very last minute by the left fielder Dom Gabardi, but to no avail, and a leadoff single for Siebert.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, the left fielder, number 36, Ruben Siegel.
Siebert entering play, the team's leading hitter at .385 with an OPS of 1194, and he picks up his 16th base hit of the ball game. He's 4-5 in stolen base attempts this season, so he might be a threat to run here. That gets into the dirt. Dushny fires it to second, not in time. Dushny not able to nail Siebert, who broke for second immediately as that pitch hit the dirt. Wild pitch puts him in scoring position. It is a 1-0 count to Siegel. Ruben comes up empty, 1-1. And that hit him. So a hit batsman makes it first and second, nobody out to begin the ball game. Siegel playing just his 9th game of the season will add to his .550 on base percentage, 1217 OPS, with 3 doubles and 3 ribbies entering play. So hit by pitch, a single, a wild pitch, first and second, nobody out. Bunt attempt here by the number 3 hitter, Favazzo, goes foul for strike one. Favazzo entering play, slashing .370, .500, .609, with 4 doubles, 2 triples, 1 homer, and 11 ribbies. Siebert, by the way, kind of amazing that he got on base with a single rather than a walk. He actually has 18 walks this season compared to 15 hits. There's another hit for you down the left field line. Siebert being waved around third. He will score, and it will be an RBI double for Favazzo. 1-0 Bulldogs, just like that. Still nobody out in the top of the first.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, the second baseman, number 7, Matthew Favazzo.
That is Nick Favazzo's 12th RBI of the season, which ties Jonathan Rodriguez for the team lead. And now here's Matthew Favazzo with an OPS of 1,003 entering play. Strike one to Matthew, the second baseman. Bulldogs dugout has been into it since Chris's intros. Not happy with that call. It is 0-2. This guy down the right field line, and that'll go foul now. Play will remain 0-2. Zawatsky making his 5th pitching appearance of the season. No wins, losses, or ties. 1 save as not allowed a run until this point this season in 6 1/3 innings, but he's allowed his first one here. It's 1-0 Bulldogs. Pop up along the first base side and caught by the first baseman Bosland for out number 1. So a big one there with 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, and already 1 run home. So critical first out there. Matt Favazzo pops up, and here's the designated hitter, Evan O'Rourke. And O'Rourke comes up empty for strike 1. O'Rourke slashing .231, .250, .231 on the season with 2 RBIs. He's behind 0-2. Sawatsky last pitch on July 9th against the Sabres. Win an inning, allowed no runs or hits with 2 walks and 1 strikeout. Well, Chopper goes foul on the third base side. Do it again at 0-2. Single by Siebert. Hit batsman for Siegel, and then Nick Favazzo with an RBI double to bring home Siebert. They put the brakes on Siegel. He's still at third with 1 down and an 0-2 count to the number 5 hitter, the designated hitter, Evan O'Rourke. Grounded to the right side. It gets past the first baseman into right field for a base hit. 1 run will score. Here comes another standing up. It's 3-0. Merriment, what is this, a Renaissance fair? Break out the turkey legs. O'Rourke with the 2-run single. And now a little flare over to the right side, and that gets past the second baseman into right field for a base hit. This is kind of a wacky, couple wacky bounces back-to-back here on the right side of the infield as Rodriguez picks up the base hit. O'Rourke goes to second. And here's Brenner. Boy, so Watsky, again, had not allowed a run in his first 4 appearances in 6 1/3 innings this season. He's allowed 3 1/3 of an inning so far. Dushny going out to have a word with Zawatsky here, try to settle him down. Zawatsky made his pitching debut against the Melrose Americans on June 7th, when an inning and a third, and did not allow a run or hit while walking 1, striking out 4. Americans and the Sabres, the only ICL foes that Zawatsky has faced as a pitcher this season. So that's in there for a strike. 0-1 is the count to Evan Brenner, the extra hitter for the Bulldogs. Already 3-0. Bulldogs on top of the Blue Sox. Like I said, postseason starts now as far as the Bulldogs are concerned. Want to see if they can try and beat the clock against the Stoneham Sabres. 2 games back of the Sabres for the 5th and final playoff spot. There is strike 3 called, and out number 2.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, the shortstop, number 59,
Jaden Vellis will bat to try and keep the line moving. And he comes up empty for strike 1. Jaden playing in his 16th game, 289, 391, 342 his slash line. 3 ribbies. 1-1 the count. Swing and a miss. Count will be 1-2. Bulldogs as a team entering play with a 283 batting average. Ahead of the Blue Sox at 275. This will be Line to short and caught for the out. That retires a side, but a crooked number in the top of the first for the Bulldogs. 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 2 left. Happening in the books, Bulldogs 3, Blue Sox coming up. Well, if the Blue Sox are going to win this game and stay ahead of the Chiefs in their points percentage pace, they're going to have to overcome the largest deficit that they would have overcome in a game this season. For the longest time, no team either erased a deficit of more than 1 run against the Blue Sox, and the Blue Sox never erased more than a 1-run deficit against an opponent. That changed last week in the game against the Al Thomas Athletics. That was only a 2-run deficit that the Blue Sox had faced. They got come back from 3, but I guess better down 3 after half an inning than down to your final 3 outs. Something, 1,000-mile single step, right? Let's get to the bottom of the first and see if the Blue Sox can make a dent in this lead against the Bulldogs starter. John Maluski is making his season debut for the Bulldogs. McElroy takes strike 1. McElroy, Leonard, and Anderson due up here on the bottom of the first for the Blue Sox. If anybody gets on, Julian Alvarez. That'll be low for ball 1, and the count will even at 1. With a fastball by him there, the count will be 1 and 2. McElroy playing his 8th game of the season, slash line of 263, 364, 526. But take strike 3 called there. One up, one down. Here is Ben Leonard. Leonard getting the start in the EH slot. Playing his 14th game, slash line of 385, 529, 500. With 1 double, 1 triple, and 7 ribbies. That's in there for strike 1. Count is 0-1 to Leonard. Give the full Blue Sox lineup in just a moment. And a swing and a miss. 0-2. McElroy in right, Leonard the extra hitter, Anderson in center, Alvarez at DH, Justin Bosland at first, Anderson Jimenez at third, Dom Gabardi in left, Max Dushny behind the plate, Charlie Walsh at short, and Dylan Walsh at second as that hits the dirt and rolls the backstop with Zawatsky getting the start on the mound. Full line for the Bulldogs is Siebert in right, Siegel in left, Nick Favazzo in center, Matt Favazzo at second, Evan O'Rourke the DH, Jonathan Rodriguez at third, Evan Brenner the extra hitter, Velas at short, Libretto behind the plate, and Nana Adu at first with Maluski, as you can see, on the mound. And now a 2-2 count to Leonard. Maluski winds and delivers, and just missed for a full count. Chirpin maybe coming from the Bulldogs in the outfield there, wondering where that one was, but 3-2 to Leonard. Here it comes. Popped up, and we'll get on to Worthing Road. We have an official broadcast. Blue Sox in blue, Bulldogs in black. Both teams with the red block letters and the red numbers and red sleeves. Fouled off. Again, Nick Anderson due up next. 3 spot in the top half of the first inning for the Bulldogs. And that ran too far inside and is a 1-out walk to Leonard. Great patience by Leonard to come back from that 0-2 count to start the at-bat.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the center fielder, number 33, Nick Anderson.
Leonard picks up his 6th walk of the season, and here is Nick Anderson. And Anderson takes strike 1. Anderson entering play, slashing .360, .477, .680. 2 doubles, 4 triples, 2 homers, 19 ribbies. That's in there for a strike, and the count is 0-2. Anderson also has 11 steals in 13 attempts. Leonard, if you're wondering if he's going to run 1 of 1 in stolen base attempts this season. Long set by the pitcher, Maluski, and he misses outside for ball 1. So it's possibly to freeze Leonard. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Another fastball. Anderson can't catch up to it. 2 down. And it should be Alvarez. I was going to say, Bosman was also coming up towards the plate just to hand a baseball to the umpire. So Alvarez will try to keep the line moving. Jules with a grand slam against the base on July 25th. Halfway between first and second, they got Leonard in a hot box. And the ball gets away from the pitcher covering first, and that is going to allow Leonard to get to second, and a bailout there at the end too by the right fielder coming in to prevent that ball from going out of play. So in the end, just an error that allows Leonard to get to second, but could have been a lot worse for both teams, in fact. Well, runner now in scoring position, a 1-0 count to Alvarez. Alvarez entering play, slashing .258, .425, .452, 1 homer, 12 ribbies. It's high for a ball, and the count will be 2-0. Tell you, the Blue Sox got bailed out by a couple of errors on pickoff attempts last night against the Chiefs. Got bailed out on one there. We good? Yeah, we are good. In fact, the Bulldogs are good as the catch is made by Libretto for the out that retires the side. No runs, no hits. 1 error, 1 left. Through 1, 3-0 Bulldogs. Well, here we go to the top of the second. Bulldogs leading 3-0 and 9-10-1 due up for the Bulldogs. Vince Libretto, who just made the catch on that pop-up behind home plate to retire the Blue Sox in the bottom of the first, takes his first cuts in the top of the second and swings and misses for strike one. Libretto, Nana Adu, and Mike Siebert due up here in the top of the second for the visitors. The Battle of Lexington. 0-2 the count, and gets to the backstop. 1-2. Libretto, 200, 333, 200, and this is 9th game of the season with 1 RBI and 3 walks. 2-2 is the count. Adu, the team captain, due up next. Popped up, fouled off, out of play. Do it again at 2-2. Hot shot foul down the third base line, and we'll do it again at 2-2. Only other game on the ICL slate tonight is East Boston Knights taking on the Stoneham Sabres at Maplewood. Tomorrow, full slate. Here's a grounder to short, picked up there from Walsh to Boz for out number 1.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, the first baseman, number 23, Nana Adu.
Here's Nana Adu. First baseman, slashing 200, 375, 240 with 1 RBI and 7 walks, and he's 3 of 3 in steals as well. And he is ahead 1-0. Swing and a miss by Adu, and the count will be 1-1. Fouled off. Adu behind in the count 1-2. Two and two is Sawatsky. Well, I guess better to have these missed like that with nobody on base, but might be trying to throw a bit too much rather than pitch here in the early going. Fouled off. We'll do it again. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Even their own teammates can't escape the chirping, huh? Oh. I mean, I don't think it was that close, but 3-2. And peel down to first, and Adu able to work the walk. Well, Blue Sox couldn't cash in on a 1-out walk after a tough battle by their second batter at the bottom of the first. We'll see if the top of the second will be any different for the Bulldogs. Adu picks up the walk, and the lineup turns over for Siebert, who led off the ball game with a single and then eventually came around to score. Three of 3. So Adu on this season in steals. And that cut a bit too far across there, and the count will be 1-0. Called strike, throw down to second, not in time. 1-1 the count, a runner in scoring position, and Adu's now 4-4. So this marks the second time this season that the Blue Sox have allowed multiple runs in the top of the first inning. A comebacker makes it 2 down, and Adu has to hold at second. The other time was against the Melrose Americans back on June 7th. The Americans scored 4 in the top of the first. The Blue Sox came back with 3 in the bottom of the first and had a chance to tie or take the lead even in that bottom of the first, but were unsuccessful, and the Americans eventually pulled away with 6 more runs in the top of the fourth to come away with a 10-3 win. Blue Sox hoping to avoid a similar fate here against the Bulldogs, as Siegel is now behind 0-2 after being hit by a pitch and scoring his last time. One and two. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the side is retired. So Zawatsky works around the 1-out walk, and we're through a buck and a half. 3-0 Bulldogs.
Leading off the bottom of the second, first baseman number 29, Justin Boslin.
Boslin, Jimenez, and Gabardi due up here in the bottom of the second for the Blue Sox. Still down 3-0. And Boz comes up empty for strike 1. 0-1 to Boz from Maluski, who struck out 2 in the bottom of the first in his first game of the season. And now he's ahead, 0-2. Oh, a bailout there for Boslin, getting plunked on the 0-2. This is the third time he's been plunked his last 4 plate appearances, poor Boz. I mean, it's one thing to not want to pitch to the guy, but, like, please, Hammer, don't hurt him. Yeah, I know, right? Jimenez thinking about bunting, but pulls back in time to watch ball 1. Jimenez with an RBI triple drove home what proved to be the game-winning run in his return to the Blue Sox last night. 7-1 win over Andre. Boz runs, pitches a strike, throw down to second is not in time. So Boz making the most of the reprieve he got being behind 0-2, being late on a couple of fastballs and getting plunked by one. Still going to see Anderson try to bunt here now with a runner in scoring position. Third baseman coming in, anticipating it seems. Well, no bunt now as that's fouled off for strike 2. Again, regular season home finale for the Blue Sox. They're at Morelli to face the Americans on Wednesday, as that'll be grounded to the pitcher, who will flip on to first. It does, in the end, advance Boz to third now with one down.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the left fielder, number 22, Dom Gobardi.
Well, in the end, you did what you set out to do in that at-bat. Get him on, get him over, get him in, right? So, runner at third with one down for Dom Gobardi. Again, the Blue Sox are off tomorrow. They will face the Americans Wednesday at Morelli. That's a revenge game as far as the Blue Sox are concerned, considering the hurt they put on them all the way back at the start of the season. And then they'll face the Expos in an away game in Lexington, but not at LHS, but at Minuteman Tech, with a 7 o'clock first pitch. 7:30, by the way, for the Wednesday game in Morelli, as that gets down the line out of the reach of the diving third baseman for a fair ball base hit. In comes Boz to score. RBI single for Gobardi, and the Blue Sox are on the board. It's 3-1.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the catcher, number 7, Max Dushne.
And speaking of an on-base machine, even if it isn't, by the traditional means, here's Dush. Getting on base and taking runners off base is his mantra. So Gobardi with the RBI single, the smash past the Bulldogs third baseman, as that's in there for strike 1. Again, fine effort by Rodriguez, but unable to come up with it. And Gobardi picks up his second RBI and his third hit in now 10 at-bats. That's in the dirt, but no advance by Dom, and it's 1-1. Dush entering play with a 192 batting average, but a 462 on-base percentage. He has 5 hits, all singles, plus 12 walks and a hit by pitch. 2-1. Teddy Juba's got competition for Walkman behind the plate, in fact. Although, eventually, he could no longer live up to the Tungsten Knees O'Doyle moniker. 3-1. Hey, even Carlton Fisk couldn't catch and after a while, but wow. Never seen such an aggressive bat flip on a walk, but Dush reaches. Walk number 13 for Dush, first and second now. Puts the tying run on first for Charlie Walsh, rather.
Number 11, Charlie Walsh.
Charlie Walsh takes strike 1. Walsh, 300, 389, 333 a slash line, 1 double, 6 ribbies. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Dylan Walsh due up next. Gobardi at second, Dushne at first. 0-2 the count. And the pitch, here it is. High for ball 1. Fastball's definitely got some life here from Maluski. Hoping to roll a 2-ball here and get out of this one with just the 1 run allowed. That's in the dirt, but able to keep it in front of him is Libretto. So no advance by the runners, but the count moves to 2-2. Molewski comes set, and the 2-2. Long look at second. Here it comes. Fouled straight, well, not straight back, but fouled back to the screen. 2-2 still. So the Blue Sox going to be playing the Expos Thursday night with a 7 o'clock first pitch at Minuteman Tech in Lexington. Then we'll close out the season here Friday night for an away game against the East Boston Knights. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down. Third strikeout for Molewski.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the second baseman, number 4, Dylan Walsh.
Let's see if Dylan Walsh can cash in. Trying to bring the Blue Sox at least 1 run closer. Down and in for ball 1. Dylan entering play, slashing .344, .488, .438, 3 doubles, 5 ribbies. Able to hold up, and that is a ball to make it 2-0. Now, you can't see it in this shot right now. There's some construction equipment beyond the right field fence. Yeah. If only. But there is going to be some a large number of renovations beginning soon at Lexington High. As that's at the top of the zone, 3-1. And the fields back here, the softball field, the baseball field, and the practice field for track and football next to us. As that's outside for ball 4 and the bases are loaded. Time called as Libretto goes out to the mound to have a word with Molewski, with McElroy come to the plate.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the right fielder.
Be a pivotal point here in the ball game.
McElroy.
But with essentially these fields, including this one and the ones other ones I mentioned, that could potentially be used to like park construction vehicles and store equipment. Center field may not be usable by the time the 2025 ICL season rolls around, so the Blue Sox may play some or all of their home games next year over at Minuteman. But that remains to be seen. 0-1 is the count to McElroy, who struck out looking his first time up. Grounds this one to the left side, and it takes a funny hop away from the third baseman. 1 run scores. Here comes another. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's offline. This game is tied. The Blue Sox certainly can't fault Rodriguez on that one. That was a brutal hop off the infield dirt. Took a hop away from into left field. Set up nicely, though, for the left fielder Siegel to try and throw a bullet to home to try and get the second runner, Dushny, but the throw was over Libretto's head. And the Blue Sox have gotten us back to where we started, 3-3 on the 2-run single by Jake McElroy. Now here's Ben Leonard. Fouled off, straight back, read the top line. It is 0-1. By the way, McElroy took second on the throw, so it's a single, 2-run, 2 RBI, and the advance on the throw. And Dylan Walsh now at third. 1-1 is the count to Leonard, who walked his first time up. That's down low, and the count is 2-1. Two runners in scoring position for Leonard. Swings, pops this one up a mile high. Chris, you got it? Tucker. Oh. 2-2. As long as it wasn't, a skull or any of this, right? 2-2. What are you apologizing for? You didn't do nothing. You didn't. Oh, I didn't realize it was even off. Come on, guys. Get your heads in the game. Down and in, full count. With Nick Anderson due up next. Dylan Walsh at third. McElroy at second. Payoff pitch. Here it comes. And we'll do it again. Payoff pitch again. Here it is. From Maluski to Leonard. Inside for ball 4. And the inning continues. Jackknifed Leonard there a bit, but.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the center fielder, number 30.
Picks up his second walk. And here's Anderson. You'll notice it's happening a lot tonight that Maluski is missing often. Like he's often missing his spots when Libretto sets up towards the right-handed batter's box, then misses in the direction of lefties. That's what's resulted in a number of the walks tonight. 2-0. Yeah, just the single and the two singles. I mean, we'll see about that with a 2-0 count to Anderson. Down low, 3-0. Like when he misses his spots, he either misses. Seems to be missing either high and away to lefties or in or way inside to lefties. Now, that one, Anderson was not able to catch up to. Trust your stuff, right? Fastball's been by far the strongest pitch for Maluski tonight. And now he hits the spot on the inside corner, 3-2. Can throw you off a little bit when you see Libretto kind of reaching across to that spot as often as he has. But, gentlemen, start your engines. Payoff pitch, tie ball game, bases loaded. Here it is. Down and in, ball 4, and that'll bring home a run. Anderson with the walk. Brings home Walsh with the go-ahead run. To third goes McElroy. To second goes Leonard. And to the mound goes Eric Steinkraus. And looks like that's going to be it for Maluski. Come on. Yeah. Yep, there it is. Maluski done after an inning and 2/3. Still responsible for all 3 runners on base and allows so far 4 runs on 2 hits and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walks. Confirm the new pitcher for you, and yep.
We have a pitching change to announce for the Bulldogs. Coming into pitch for Lexington is number 3, Greg Gentle.
Got it, Eric. Thanks. So Greg Gentle will take over on the mound for the Bulldogs. Again, an inning and 2/3 by Maluski. Had his fastball working phenomenally, but lost the handle towards the end, walked the last two batters he faced, and, hitting Bosland on the 0-2 pitch. That opened the floodgates for the Blue Sox here in the bottom of the second. Gentle is making his 11th pitching appearance of the season. 1-0 with one save and a 3.15 ERA. In 13 1/3 innings, he's allowed 11 hits, 7 runs, 6 of which are earned, walked 7, struck out 16, surrendered 1 home run, hit a batter, and thrown 2 wild pitches. Good for a strikeouts per inning of 1.2 and a whip of 1.35. He pitched against the Blue Sox on June 17th. Went 2 2/3, allowed 3 hits, 4 runs, all of which are earned, walked 3, struck out 2, and threw 1 wild pitch. His lone win came against the Sabres on June 4th. 3 innings of work, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and 3 Ks. And last night against the Americans, allowing 1 hit, going 1 inning, allowing 2 hits, 2 runs, with 1 walk, no strikeouts. Here is Alvarez with the bases loaded and 2 down, and the Blue Sox claiming their first lead of the ball game at 4-3, and that is low for ball 1. Alvarez popped up to the catcher, his first time up. That ended the bottom of the first. Got the bases loaded in front of him here. 2 down in the bottom of the second. 4-3 Blue Sox after entering this half inning, trailing 3-0. 1-1 the count. They chase Maluski after he gives up 4 runs on just 2 hits and 5 walks. And still responsible is Maluski for all 3 runners on base. Into the screen, and the count will be 1-2. McElroy at third, Leonard at second, Anderson at first. 1-2 the count, 2 down. Alvarez waiting for the pitch from Gentle. Hits this one the other way towards the right field corner, and that will be caught for the out that retires the side. Fine run down there by Siebert. And the Blue Sox take the lead on 4 runs on 2 hits, but they leave the bases loaded. And we'll see if the Blue Sox pitching can make this newfound lead hold as we go to the top of the third. Well, the Bulldogs are going to get this lead back. They've got the right part of the order coming up. Favazzo, and O'Rourke due up. In the top of the third, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Bulldogs. Starting with Nick Favazzo, who had an RBI double his first time up and then came around to score. As part of that 3-run top of the first by the Bulldogs. Zawatsky can't get that called. It is ball 1-0. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, as that is a diving, did he get it? Catch! Wow! Candy Mountain, Charlie! It's 1 down.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, the second baseman, number 7, Matthew Favazzo.
again, I've got the home plate umpire kind of in my line of sight as that play finished, but it looked like he was like basically falling on his glove hand as he was making that catch. That can be painful if you're not careful. But Walsh makes the catch, and now a fly ball to center, and quickly 2 down here in the top of the third. I mean, this game or the Blue Sox need it. I'm sure the Bulldogs would love a much longer inning. So Nick lines out to short. Matt flies out to center. Now here's Evan O'Rourke. 2-run single his last time up. He's behind 0-1. Blue Sox leading 4-3 after trailing 3-0 before they even got a turn at bat. O'Rourke with a 2-run single. It made it 3-0 Bulldogs. And that misses outside for a ball, 1-2. The Blue Sox going quietly in the first, come alive in the second with 4 runs on just 2 hits. 4 walks in that inning. Driven towards the left field corner, sinking fast. That is a foul ball. In situations like that, I don't know if you'd rather give up a home run or an extra base hit, because like with an extra base hit, you feel like you can keep the merry-go-round. Like extra base hits are like just doubles like in that situation. 2 outs. I feel like as a pitcher, you can. I feel like as a pitcher, you can shake off a solo home run a lot more easily than you can. Like just a double into the corner like that, if that's what it ended up being. But the last foul ball still 1-2. And after all that, swing and a miss for strike 3. 1-2-3 go the Bulldogs in the top of the third. Our first 1-2-3 inning of the game, in fact. 2.5 of the books, 4-3 Blue Sox.
First baseman number 29, Justin Boslin.
Comedic time. It's all about timing, baby. Bottom of the third, here's Boz. Gets a strike, 0-1. Greg Gentle back on there after coming on in relief last inning. The starter, Maluski, who ends up going an inning and 2/3 and allows 4 runs on 2 hits and 5 walks with 3 Ks. In his first game of the season for the Bulldogs. Boslin comes up empty. 1-2. Going to see some more off-speed stuff. Maybe not as many hard fastballs here from Gentle as you would from Maluski. Leaves that high and away, and the count will be 2-2. Boz got the party started last inning after getting plunked on an 0-2 pitch. Fouled off, we'll do it again. He's gotten plunked down 3 of his last 4 plate appearances. Is that what we agreed on? 3 of his last 4 plate appearances. He gets on base, but not there. Swing and a miss for strike 3. 1 up, 1 down here at the bottom of the 3rd. Here's Jimenez. Ended up grounding out to the pitcher Maluski his first time up in an at-bat that began when he was trying to lay down a sacrifice, so in the end did his job. Takes a strike here. So Jimenez now with 9 hits in his last 5 games. Well, excuse me, swing up the first base line and flip to Adu at the bag for out number 2. So Jimenez grounds out to the second Bulldogs pitcher of the evening. Came up with the triple, the RBI triple that the run he drove in proved to be the game winner in the end. The run that he drove in on that triple, excuse me, I take that back. Got that out of order. It's 0-1 to Gabardi, single, RBI single, in fact, a run scored his last time up. Nearly got him there, but it is 1-1. So again, it's only 3 ICL teams in action tonight, as that's in there for a strike. 1-2. Bulldogs, Blue Sox, and the Sabres hosting the East Boston Knights in interleague action. Misses high for ball 2. Gentle trying to take a couple steps towards the first base dugout. Thinking he had strike 3, but definitely looked a little high. Not much debate on that one. It is a full count now to Gabardi with Dushny due up next. And that is outside for ball 4. So a 2-out walk keeps the inning alive. The 6th walk of the night drawn by Blue Sox batters.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the catcher, number 7, Max Dushny.
Dush with a walk and a run scored his first time up. Pops this one foul and out of play for strike 1. If the Blue Sox win this game, they'll be 17-4-1. And the Americans idle tonight, 14-7-1. That's a ball, 1-1. Now, if that ends up being the case, and if the Americans, obviously, the Blue Sox control their own destiny, they win out, they've got the number 1 seed. But remember that the Americans win over the Blue Sox earlier this year. And that was a big one, too. 10-3 is the final score. They hold the tiebreaker right now. The Americans can beat the Blue Sox again on Wednesday. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean the Americans are in the driver's seat. If the Blue Sox win tonight, then that means the Americans cannot drop a point in any of their remaining games. Yep. And even then, runner goes on the payoff pitch and is ball 4, another walk.
Now batting the shortstop, number 11, Charlie Walsh.
Because even if the Blue Sox were to lose the game to the Americans were to win out, finish 17-7-1, the Blue Sox could still win 2 of their remaining games and finish ahead of the Americans. But that would open up a window again for the Chiefs to clinch the number 1 seed. So as far as the Blue Sox are concerned, just do your job, win your games, and see if you can lock up the number 2 or the number 1 seed. 2-0 is the count now to Charlie Walsh. Struck out swinging his first time up. Back-to-back 2-out walks have first and second for Charlie. Charlie hits this one the other way, dying quickly down the left field line, and it is once again caught on the run for the out that retires the side. Alvarez had one taken away by Siebert. Now it's Siegel's turn to put an end to a Blue Sox threat. 3 in the books, 4-3 Blue Sox. New noodle for the Lexington Blue Sox will be the veteran right-hander Pat McGowan.
Pat McGowan on the mound for the Blue Sox. And leading off the top of the 4th for the Bulldogs.
And he will deal with Rodriguez, Brenner, and Velis to begin his night. Jonathan Rodriguez takes strike 1. This used to be a family show.
You let your little brothers come in from across town and crash the party, and they're actually fun. That's what this is right now.
1 and 2. I'm not even going to bother to mute it. I'm not even going to bother to mute the mic. I'm just glad the ambient wasn't on. If y'all heard what they said over there at the Bulldogs dugout, then good for you. Nice, strong throw by Charlie up the line a little bit, but a big stretch by Boz gets out number 1.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, the extra hitter, number 50, Evan Brenner.
What good is even the cough button if you could still hear Don and Jerry laughing through it in that moment, right?
I think the reaction to the moment was very appropriate.
Like, I immediately thought of it. That's why I, did what I said. Oh, is John Smoltz coming in for the bullpen? What's going on? Brenner behind 0-2 after striking out looking his first time up.
We're in a psych ward disguised as a baseball game right now.
Welcome to my life, man. Yeah. Well, you got plunked by that, and that will make you sick in the head in a different way. 1-2. Strike 3 called. 2 down. Help.
The shortstop, number 59, Jaden Vellis.
Jaden Vellis flying out to short his first time up. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error and 3 left for the Bulldogs. 4 runs, 2 hits, no errors and 6 left for the Blue Sox. Bulldogs not happy with that strike call. It is 0-1. 0-2. Grounder foul. Come on, Eric.
That's Austin Travis's brother that just made that play down the line. No, scouting department.
Sure. That's on the outside corner for strike 3 called, and the side is retired. I'm going to try and regather myself as we're halfway home. I'm still not over it. Oh, man, how could you, though? Oof. You wore some. God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I looked at my leg and, like, 3 found me.
I'm just glad I didn't eat right before the game. After you said that. 1-1.
I figured you got the imagery. I apologize.
Listen, we don't need any more jokes about, like, eating bugs to save the planet. Thank you. 1-1 is the count to Dylan Walsh. Walsh, McElroy, and Leonard due up here in the bottom of the fourth. Ooh, just a little bit outside. 2-1 to Dylan Walsh from the new noodle for the Bulldogs, Stuart Camp. And Walt's going to step out as Libretto's going to have a word with Camp. I was going to say, I put my phone on mute. Camp making his 7th appearance of the season, 1-0 with a 3.85 ERA and 9 innings of work. He's allowed 11 hits, 7 runs, 5 which are earned, walked 5 and struck out 5. Hit the other way in the gap in left center field, but that'll be tracked down for out number 1 by Siegel.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the right fielder, number 53, Jake McElroy.
So Walsh is now 0 for 1 after that fly out to left. The lineup turns over for McElroy. McElroy with a single. His last time up, he's 1 for 2. As that is in there for strike 1. Only 2 hits so far for the Blue Sox. They both came in that 4-run bottom of the second, in which they also had 4 walks. 1-1. The Bulldogs are actually out hitting the Blue Sox 4-2, but all 4 of their hits came in their 3-run top of the first. So both teams getting all their runs and all their hits in 1 inning. Top of the first for the Bulldogs and the bottom of the second for the Blue Sox. And that'll go the backstop 3-1. As I mentioned last night, and as I've said many times before, you hate to have, games hinge on, one little hiccup of an inning for a pitcher, but it's kind of startling how often that does end up happening. It doesn't happen all of the vast majority of games, but it happens more frequently than I think people realize. But McElroy draws a walk. Here's Ben Leonard, who's already taken 2 of them tonight. It's walk number 8 now for the Blue Sox. Swing and a miss, though, for strike 1 to Leonard. This isn't necessarily anything new for the Bulldogs pitching staff this season. They have walked the most batters in the ICL this year. Throw down to second is not in time. Stolen base for McElroy, and I believe the pitch was a ball, so it'll be 1-1. Yeah, Libretto's got great pop time for sure. We said, but fortunately, McElroy with a good enough jump and enough speed to get in there with a stolen base. 1-1 is the count to Leonard. The Bulldogs have walked 144 batters in 136 innings entering play tonight. That's in there for a strike 1 and 2. They are actually the only team in the ICL who walks more than 1 batter an inning. The Expos have walked the second most batters this season at 107, but have done so in 149 innings. The Mad Dogs have walked 102 and 116 in a third innings. The Blue Sox have walked the fewest batters this year, and it's actually not even close. 60 and 139. Fouled off. The Chiefs have walked 78 and 153 innings. And the Americans walked 79 and 147. The Blue Sox entering play tonight only walked 60 batters in 21 games, 139 innings. The Bulldogs team whip, by the way, in addition to mentioning that they've walked more than batted an inning, their team whip is 2.191. It's now 2-2 to Leonard. Waited on that one, flares it into left field, and oh no, he dropped it. We'll try to get the runner at third. It's not a force play, and he gets there anyways. E7 puts McElroy at third and Leonard at first.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the center fielder, number 33, Nick Anderson.
Well, may not have been an out, but it does keep the double play in order at least, with Leonard holding at first. Here's Anderson, 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Takes low for ball one. Closing the who you got poll after this half inning. So if you think the Blue Sox are going to hang on, if you think the Bulldogs are going to make a comeback, let us know with your votes. 1-1 the count. (4-3) Blue Sox. 3 runs and 4 hits for the Bulldogs, all coming in the top of the first. 4 runs and 2 hits for the Blue Sox, all coming in the bottom of the second. The hit and run was on there, and Anderson fouled it off the other way to make it 1-2. Leonard had second by a mile, too, if in the event that he didn't make contact there. 1-2 the count. Runners at the corners. Anderson with a walk that plated a run his last time. Waits on this one and smokes it foul the other way again. Well, on that and also the fly ball into left that was dropped by Siegel, you can tell the Blue Sox are seeing the curveball nicely and waiting it out. Making good contact, but a little too late there by Anderson. 1-2. That'll get through the other way for a base hit. A little bit of a bobble there by Siegel, but he's able to keep it in front of him. In from third comes McElroy. To second goes Leonard, and it is 5-3 Blue Sox. And that is their first base hit of the ball game since the second inning.
Number 25, Julian Alvarez.
So here's Jules, 0 for 2 with a pop-up to the catcher and a fly out to right, both outs ending those respective innings, the first and the second. Time granted to the catcher Libretto before the first pitch was thrown. 5-3 our score, and Alvarez watches that one go down low for ball one. Not sure if we'd be able to get an update on the Stoneham Sabres game before it ends, but again, there's a pop-up into foul territory. Adu lost it, nearly bent backwards like Keanu Reeves of the Matrix and made that catch in the first base coach's box, but dropped behind him. A little bit of a slip there at the end, but in the end, just a strike. Divot, yeah, there. Yeah. So first and second, 1-1 the count, 1 out, 5-3 our score. The Blue Sox extending the lead with a base hit and an RBI by Anderson, plating Jake McElroy. now Camp stepping off. Wow. Kind of a wild pitch to track there. Goes outside for a ball and then nicks out of Libretto's glove behind Alvarez. No advance by the runners. I mean, why would you want to give up, outs on the bases at this juncture anyway? It's only a 2-run game. Seeing what the Bulldogs offense is capable of. Don't want to leave any doubt in this one. And that is just high for ball 3, 3-1. And revolution number 9. As Alvarez draws the walk, the 9th of the ball game for the Blue Sox. Leonard to third, Anderson to second. And here's Boz. Hit by a pitch, stole a base, and scored a run in the second. Struck out swinging in the third. Bases full of Blue Sox with 1 out. Bosland, again, waiting that one out and fouling it off the other way, 0-1. Neither Camp nor Gentle have the fastball that Milewski has, but at some point you might want to try and see if you can sneak it by him, knowing that the Blue Sox are waiting out these breaking balls, and see if he can blow a fastball by him. Oh, 1 from Camp. Swing and a miss. No advance by the runners. The ball dribbles away from the catcher, and Libretto gets it. Oh, 0-2 the count to Boz, and nearly hit him on the back foot, but it's a ball, 1-2. Nick Anderson, by the way, his RBI is his 21st of the season. That is the 5th most in the season by Blue Sox players since 2006, and he's the 9th different Blue Sox player to get 20 ribbies in a season in that time frame. Count is now 2-2 to Boz. Remember that 12 of those ribbies came in the span of 2 games back in June. Fly ball into shallow left center. It's caught by the shortstop. Went a mile out there to get it in. He's got the seat at home plate to get the runner tagging. 6-2 double play. Leonard nailed at the plate. And the side is retired. The Blue Sox get 1 run on 1 hit and leave 2. And we are through 4. And it is 5-3 Blue Sox. What time is it? It is Borja time. Borja, Jones, Barasaluthe returning to the mound for the Blue Sox. We get the top of the fifth underway, and the Blue Sox, golden opportunity to extend the lead there in the bottom of the fourth, but only got the one run on one hit and then a 6-2 double play. Ends the inning as Bosland flew out into shallow left center, and the shortstop for the Bulldogs, Jaden Vellis, fired a bullet to Libretto, who tagged out Leonard for the out that retired the side. And now it is Libretto batting. The game's still in reach for the Bulldogs. 2-0 now to the Bulldogs backstop. It'll be followed by Adu and Siebert. Borja's first appearance of the season, and a swing and a miss for strike one to Libretto, who is 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. Borja, this is down away 3-1. Last pitch on July 13th, 2023. Took the loss against the Andre Chiefs, going 2/3 of an inning. Only pitched a total of an inning and a third in 3 appearances last year. Gets a swing and a miss here, and it is 3-2. You know, the Blue Sox since 2013 as Borja. And he gives up a walk to Libretto to bring the tying run to the plate here in the top of the fifth.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, the first baseman, number 23, Nana Adu.
So here's Adu, who worked a walk and stole his fourth base in 4 attempts on the season. His first time up, and we'll see if he's going to try and lay one down here. Nope, he's going to swing at the first pitch, pop it up into center field, and Anderson tracks it down for out number 1.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, the right fielder, number 57, Mike Siebert.
Lineup turns over for Siebert, who singled and scored his first time up all the way back in the first, and then grounded out to the pitcher in the second. Borja comes set and gets a strike in there, 0-1. Borja was actually on the precipice of playing in the World Baseball Classic many moons ago. Had Spain qualified for the tournament. At last, they fell a little bit short, but yeah, he was in the talent pool for the Spanish national team. Ryan O'Rourke actually representing Ireland right now. Yeah. International tournament right now, 1-1. In 2015, Borja went 1-0 with a .396 ERA in 17 2/3 innings. 1 earned run in 17 2/3 with 13 hits, 7 walks, and 19 strikeouts, a career high, which he actually matched the following year in 6 fewer innings, 11 2/3, although a much higher ERA, 3 even. 1-2. Grounder to short. Walsh to Boz, not in time. And the inning will continue.
Now batting the left fielder, number 36, Ruben Siegel.
Walsh to Boslin. Doesn't have the same ring to it as Tinker averaged to chance, alas, but I don't know, if we get Brendan back, we could have the potential for, 3 Walshes in the infield. I know Brendan's not usually an infielder, but anything is possible if you believe in yourself. It's 0-1 to Ruben Siegel. Hit by a pitch and scored his first time up and then struck out swinging. 3 Walshes were like Freddie Freeman and on the being the only Anglophone on the Canadian national team. Infield, this guy to the left center field gap, and are you? What? What? Are you kidding me? So nice they caught it twice. Is that a 7-8 put out? Is that how?
7.
What?
He popped it to
7-8.
himself. Yeah, and then he kept running, and then he actually squeezed it.
Wow. Whatever gets the job done, I guess. 5-3 after 4.5. New pitcher for the Lexington Bulldogs will be Seamus Kelly. Kelly making his 4th appearance of the season. No decisions in a 9.33 ERA in 3 innings of work. He's allowed 5 hits, 4 earned runs, walked 3, struck out 3, and hit 1 batter. This is his first game against an ICL opponent this year. Allowed 1 hit and no runs, no walks, no strikeouts against the extra innings Braves of the Park League on June 11th. The next day against the Brighton Braves of the Yawkey League. 1 inning, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 2 Ks. And then on July 9th against Palmer of the Park League and former Bulldog J.P. Songen. 1 inning, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout and 1 hit batter. So his first action against an ICL opponent this year and his first action in almost 3 weeks. Grounder to the left side and gets through for a base hit for Anderson Jimenez. You'll love to see it. Like everything else going on with Anderson, but he's just been a hot hitter as of late. That is now 10 hits in his last 6 games.
The left fielder, number 22, Dom Gobardi.
So Jimenez with his first base hit of the ball game. He's now 1 for 3. And it's only the second time the Blue Sox have gotten the leadoff man on in an inning. And the first time was that 4-run second. Here's Gobardi. 1 for 1 with a single, an RBI, run scored, and a walk. Jimenez stumbled off of first with the pitch, but won't have to worry about getting hosed at second as that is fouled off for strike 1. 0-1 to Gobardi to be followed by Dushney. Five runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 8 left for the Blue Sox. And that ball goes out of play. Pickoff attempt unsuccessful, and Jimenez finds himself on second base anyways. E1 puts Jimenez in scoring position. That's actually the second time an error by the pitcher has resulted in a Blue Sox runner getting to second base on a failed pickoff. The error on Leonard's hot box I gave to the pitcher because that was a ball he should have at least caught, even if Leonard didn't end up getting to second. But I have 0-2. It's 0-2. But yeah, that was a ball that, PFP, baby. 0-2 to Gabardi. I mean, in the end, that error did not hurt the Bulldogs in that inning, but Blue Sox didn't end up scoring. But obviously, second inning, that's when things changed. Gabardi strikes out swinging. And 1 down with a runner in scoring position for Dush. 2 walks to his credit, plus a run scored. Has caught anyone stealing yet? No, he hasn't. No. So it's definitely not a Max Dushny game yet. That one bounced at the plate, though, and to third on the wild pitch goes Anderson. Yeah, but the Blue Sox would have loved to get those insurance runs last inning, loading the bases with 1 out. Got the 1 run out of it, but then that 6-2 double play. I mean, Leonard's got great speed, and you got the shortstop backpedaling that far to make that catch. I can understand the rationale, but I don't know. This is why I'm back here and not any closer. 2-0 now with a runner at third. To Dush, and Dush granted time here. So again, a win here would put immense pressure on. Oh, that gets away from Libretto, but able to corral it. It's 3-0. Win here gives the Blue Sox 17 wins, 17-4-1. And again, that puts the pressure on the Melrose Americans. Because they hold the tie. They won the first game against the Blue Sox that they played this season, but now that means that the Americans cannot drop a point. 3-1 in their remaining 3 games. And if they do, then the best they can finish won't match the worst, won't pass the worst the Blue Sox can finish. A 5-pitch walk. Well, boy. Talking to Teddy Juba at the game after the game last night, and he heard "Party Hard" by Andrew WK. And he said, I must be the only one here who ever saw Andrew WK live. Now he never wants to hear "Party Hard" again because that's our victory song now. But I mean, if you want to hang it up, Teddy, look, Max Dushny might be coming for your throne. 1-0 is the count to Charlie Walsh. 0 for 2 is his ledger tonight with a strikeout and a fly out to left. The other way to left field, and this will be caught by Siegel. And, that throw came in maybe a little quicker than anyone anticipated, but it is a sac fly and an RBI as Jimenez scores to make it 6-3.
We have a pinch hitter to announce for the Blue Sox. Pinch hitting in the second base spot, number 1, Brett Stone.
Well, here is Brett Stone. What a couple of games he had last week. Pinch hitting for Jimenez and driving home the game-winning run against Al Thomas, and then the home run in that offensive explosion against the base. Bruce just reminded me that this is now the Dushny's second 3-walk game in his last 3 games. 1-1 is the count, And again, Brett Stone pinch hitting for Dylan Walsh. So Dylan finishes the night 0 for 1 with a run scored and a walk. RBI, the sac fly by Charlie Walsh, makes it 6-3. And now 1-1 with a runner at first, that being Dushney, and 2 down in the bottom of the 5th. Down and in, 2-1. Charlie picks up his 7th ribby of the season. Well, it seems to be more than just Beluski that has been missing, has been kind of overthrowing to the left-handed batter's box. I've seen Libretto reach across to his right a lot tonight. Here's a fly ball the other way to left field, but despite getting twisted around a little bit there, Siegel able to make the catch for the out. That retires the side. We're through 5, 6-3 Blue Sox.
Hartley on the mound for the Blue Sox, leading off the top of the 6th for the Bulldogs, the center fielder, number 15, Nick Favazzo.
New noodle for the Blue Sox is the left-hander Nate Hartley to face the heart of the Bulldogs order, Nick Favazzo, Matt Favazzo, and Evan O'Rourke. Nick takes strike 1. 0-1 is the count. Nick is now going to be 2 for 3. Double his first time up. He might have extra bases again here. Leadoff double for Nick Favazzo, rudely greeting the new pitcher. So Favazzo with a couple of doubles here, and that's actually the first base hit for the Bulldogs since the first inning.
The second baseman, number 7, Matthew Favazzo.
Jonathan Rodriguez's single with 1 out in the first was the last base hit for the Bulldogs. A couple of base runners in between on some walks, 2 walks and a fielder's choice, but leadoff man aboard for the 3rd time now for the Bulldogs. Double by Favazzo, second of the ball game. And here's Matt Favazzo, who hits this one into left field, and that'll get down in front of the left fielder for a base hit. Steinkraus puts the stop sign up. It gets away from the catcher, but Favazzo slipped a bit after he saw the overthrow, trying to come home, and will hold at third. So the error allows Matt to get to second on the single. But all of a sudden, second and third, nobody out, and the tying run coming to the plate in the person of Evan O'Rourke. 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. And O'Rourke takes outside for ball 1. Hartley making his 6th appearance of the season. No wins, losses, or ties. 1 save, and is not allowed an earned run yet this season, but he's in danger of doing so if he isn't careful. The only run he's allowed this season was an unearned run to TJO in an inning and 2/3 of work. That 5-0 loss to TJO back on June 12th. A 1 hit, 1 unearned run, 1 walk, and 4 Ks. Got the save against Al Thomas on July 24th. 1 inning, no hits or runs or walks or strikeouts. Longest outing of the season was 2 1/3 against the extra innings Braves, allowing 1 hit and no runs with 3 walks and 3 Ks on July 11th. This is his first action against an ICL opponent since the scoreless tie against the Expos all the way back on June 3rd. And, oh, wow, wait, hang on a second. The batter in the on-deck circle just grabbed the baseball, and that's going to put the runners back where they were. Jonathan Rodriguez grabbed the baseball. Otherwise, that is an easy run. So doesn't allow the runners to advance, but still 3-0 from Hartley to O'Rourke here. Otherwise, you make it a 2-run game with a runner at third if he doesn't touch that. Fouled off. I know what happened outside the frame. Just had the hard cam behind home plate, but Jonathan Rodriguez was staying in the on-deck circle just outside the Bulldogs' dugout and saw the ball coming to him, and he picked it up. I guess he must have thought it was fouled, but because he picked it up in the field of play, that froze the runners. Speaking of freezing the runners, they've now got Nick Favazzo in a hot box between third and home, and they got him. Wow.
That's a big mistake. I apologize, America.
All 9 of them.
The third baseman, number 24, Jonathan Rodriguez.
That was a big mistake. I apologize, America. All right. Well, O'Rourke. Oof, that is a tough one. Tough pill to swallow there for the Bulldogs. It should be 6-4. I mean, Matt would be on third. Maybe they get him in the hot box there. Worst case scenario, it's runner on first, 1 out, and it's a 2-run game. Instead, you still have the tying run at the plate, but, you haven't brought a run home yet. Rodriguez 1-1 the count. Single and a ground out to short on his line score thus far. Grounder to third. They'll throw to second, have a jump throw there. Jimenez's momentum was carrying him away from the third base bag, but I feel like he might have had time to at least step back there to get the lead runner. In the end, 1 out was likely all they were going to get anyways. So it's runners at the corners, 2 down.
We have a pinch hitter for the Bulldogs. Pinch hitting in the extra hitter spot, number 6, Jack Finch.
So 5-4 goes the fielder's choice that forces O'Rourke. Matt Favazzo is now finally at third base. Rodriguez reaches on the fielder's choice. And we have a pinch hitter, Jack Finch, for Evan Brenner. He swings and misses for strike 1. So Brenner finishes his night 0 for 2 with 2 called third strikes. Ball 1. Interesting, they've got the lefty here. Finch against the lefty Hartley. Although Finch, one of the best hitters for the Bulldogs this year. 375, 375, 438 is slash line. 1 double, 6 hits and 16 at-bats and a run scored, but no RBIs yet, but hoping to bring home at least 1 with 1 swing of the bat here. Fouled off. The runner was going with the pitch, but have to retreat now as it is 1-2. Velas due up next if Finch can keep the line moving. Hartley delivers just outside, 2-2. Favazzo at third, Rodriguez at first. 2 down, breaking ball in there for strike 3 called.
For the Bulldogs in the top of the 6th, no runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base.
Wow.
And at the bottom of the 6th inning with the Blue Sox still leading 6-3.
The Bulldogs had a huge opportunity there and got nothing and will like it. 6-3 Blue Sox after 5.5. New noodle for the Bulldogs is Joe Walsh, making his 4th appearance of the season. No wins, losses, or ties, 2 saves, is not allowed a run in 3 innings of work, 1 hit, 4 walks, 3 Ks. He is behind Jake McElroy, 1-0, top of the order, due up here for the Blue Sox. McElroy, Leonard, and Anderson. That's in there for a strike, and the count will be 1-1. Walsh hasn't pitched since June 19th against Andre. Pitched against the Blue Sox on June 17th, went 1 inning, allowed no hits or runs with 1 walk and 1 K. Fly ball into right center field, camping under it and making the catch is Siebert for out number 1.
Now batting for the Blue Sox, the extra hitter, number 16, Ben Leonard.
The Blue Sox have logged 6 runs on 4 hits and have stranded 9. But remember that they've also picked up 5, 7, 8, 9 walks to this point. Grounder foul. Count will be 1-1. Leonard's been on base all 3 times tonight. Couple of walks and reached on that error in the left field. Left field seems to be where the action is tonight as far as defensive plays are concerned. 1-2 from Walsh to Leonard. Up and away, 2-2. Blue Sox 3 defensive outs away from picking up win number 17 on the season. And again, the Americans hold the tiebreaker currently, result of the game Wednesday pending over the Blue Sox. But a win by the Blue Sox tonight would mean that the Americans would have to win out in order to even have a chance of jumping the Blue Sox, because the Blue Sox either need another win or need the Americans to drop even 1 point in their final 3 games. Leonard picks up his 3rd walk. Throw back to first. We nearly had our 3rd error by a Bulldogs pitcher tonight. Six runs. That's a strike. 0-1. 6 runs on 4 hits, 3 errors. And 9 left to this point for the Blue Sox. Down away for a ball. 1-2 to Anderson. 1 for 2 with a strikeout, a walk, and a single. RBI as well on that single, plating McElroy. Back in the 4th. Could have been a much bigger inning, though, for the Blue Sox to try and extend what was then a 4-3 lead into what made it a 5-3 lead. Fly ball into center. That's caught. Rolling the bases with 1 out in that 5th inning, but unable to play more than just the 1. So Jules will try to pick up a base hit here. He's 0 for 2, popped up to the catcher and flew out to right. His first 2 times and drew a walk last time. And that is down and in for ball 1 to Jules. In the top of the 7th, the Bulldogs will have the bottom third of the order due up. Velis, Libretto, and Adu. 2-0 is the count to Jules. Remember, the Blue Sox are off tomorrow night and then have the Americans at Morelli Wednesday, the Expos at Minuteman Tech Thursday, and the Knights here at LHS, East Boston Knights of the Yawkey League, here at LHS Friday to close out the regular season. 7:30 first pitch on Wednesday, 7 o'clock first pitch on Thursday, and 8 o'clock first pitch on Friday. And we will, in fact, have all those games for you here on the Blue Sox Baseball Network on YouTube. Alvarez fly ball the other way towards the line. It's such a familiar ending, isn't it? We go to the top of the 7th, closing time for the Blue Sox, 6-3.
Leading off the top of the 7th inning, shortstop number 59, Jaden Velis.
Velis to lead things off, 8, 9, and 10 for the Bulldogs in the top of the 7th. And Nate Hartley back out there to try and close things out. Would be a save for Hartley if he is able to finish this one off with the lead still intact. Velis 0 for 2 of the lineup to short and a strikeout looking. And that is ball 1, down and away. Fouled off, the count will be 1-1. Chris and I were talking after the top of the 6th, the way that inning started. I mean, there's the joking stat in baseball, the acronym I've told you folks about on this here YouTube channel before, called the Noble Tiger, as that's down low for ball 2, which is no outs, bases loaded, ending in team incapable of getting easy run. The Bulldogs only started that inning with 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. That'll be fouled off for strike 2, but the way that inning played out, you know, with the stakes, that might even be more heartbreaking than a traditional Noble Tiger. 2-2. Down the line in left, that is a fair ball. Another leadoff double potentially, and it will be for the Bulldogs. The automatic double, umpires freezing plays. The ball went out of play after it landed. in fair territory. So leadoff double for Velas. And you got to keep the line moving any way you can, right? Or wait, no? I was just seeing the Bulldogs first base coach just getting Velas's gloves and such. That was what was going on. All right. So you're at towards the bottom of the order, but when you're down 3, you can't exactly play small ball here. You can't give up outs. Not really a spot where you can sacrifice, but Libretto does take ball 1. 1-0. He walked his last time up. He's 0 for 1. Ground out to short before that. Oh, that, swing might work out here for the Bulldogs. It will. It's an infield single. Gets Velas to third. There is action for the Blue Sox behind Hartley, and Jack Beauchene is the one warming, but right now, Pat McGowan going out to have a word with everyone. I mean, Matt Karras, would do the same thing. Tim Bryant, when he was our pitching coach, he would also, still pitch occasionally. Even Alex Wojcik would go out to do a mound visit every now and then. Sometimes catchers become pitching coaches. They're the ones who have to catch them. All right, here's Nana Adu. Walking to steal his first time up and a fly out to center his last time up. Adu representing the tying run for the Bulldogs. That's in there for a strike. Obviously, if you're the Blue Sox, you're cool with double play ball. Trade the run for 2 outs, so the infield not coming in here with a 3-run lead. Let's see if Adu can make some magic here, and he takes a called strike 2, 0-2. Velas at third, Libretto at first. 0-2 to Adu. Oh, 1-2. Close, but Blue Sox did not get the call. Little flare to right field, and that will be caught for out number 1. Here comes the throw back into the infield. Will be cut off. Easy sac fly for Velas to score on. Adu with the RBI and the sac 9. It is 6-4 now with 1 down and a runner at first.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, the right fielder, number 57, Mike Siebert.
So runner at first. 1 down for Siebert. 1 for 3. Takes a strike. 0-1. Single and a run score to begin this ball game. And then a ground out to the pitcher and reaching on a fielder's choice. Breaking ball gets in there for strike 2. 0-2 rather. And time granted to Siebert here, trying to regain his composure here. Umpire talking to him too. I don't know if maybe Siebert had said the magic word or something there, but we're just resetting here. Yep. All right, we're good to go. 0-2. High for ball 1. 1-2 is the count to the Bulldogs' leadoff hitter. I talk about such a familiar ending with Alvarez flying out to Siebert to end the bottom of the 6th. That was the fourth time the Blue Sox had ended an inning with a fly ball the opposite way. Speaking, that got over the second baseman's headed to center field. It's still a fourth play active, but the ball got away from the shortstop covering, and it is first and second. So Siebert gets the base hit. Libretto gets to second. The tying run now at first. The go-ahead run coming to the plate in the person of Ruben Siegel. Hartley still out there with the lefty-lefty matchup. That nearly came in and got him. Siegel had already been hit by a pitch this game, then came around to score back in the first, then struck out swinging and flew out to left. 2-0. Nick Favazzo is due up next with a righty. I have a feeling this is going to be Hartley's last batter. Swing and a miss. 2-1. Fourth pitcher of the game for the Blue Sox is Hartley. Sawatsky, McGowan, Borja, and now Hartley. Popped up, foul, and out of play behind us, 2-2. Yeah, gotcha.
15-minute watch for the lights.
Ooh.
Be interesting if they tie this up.
Oh, boy. Please don't. Please don't. Don't. 2-2.
Think about it, now you and everybody else does.
2-2. One out, first and second. In the dirt, no advance by the runners. The count is full. It's Libretto at second, though. If it were Adu at second, I think you might think about sending the runners here. One out with 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Ramped it up there and blew it by him. And the Bulldogs down to their final out in the person of Nick Favazzo. And again, bring in got the righty. You have the writer Beauchene waiting in the wings, but they're going to stick with Hartley here. And that was Rodriguez. I think it was Rodriguez. Yeah, well, it was 1-0. Oh, well, there was that too. 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Yeah, that top of the sixth was a tough inning tough pill to swallow if you're a Bulldogs fan for sure. Chance for Favazzo again to try and make amends, as Chris just said. But he fouls this one off. The Bulldogs down to their final strike. Yep. Yep. One, two to Favazzo. Here it is. Popped up, foul, and out of play. Now, Hartley's longest outing of the season was 2 1/3 against the EI Braves, but by stress and pitch count, this has to be feel like the longest certainly for him on the season. And Favazzo granted time before Hartley can deliver. 1-2 the count. Libretto at second. Here's a grounder to Jimenez. He's safe. Infield single for Favazzo. The inning continues. Bases loaded.
The second baseman, number 7, Matthew Favazzo.
Favazzo had a single. Matt Favazzo had a single his first time up against Nate. Nick Favazzo had a double, now an infield single, and they're going to stick with it. They're going to stick with Nate here. Putting their faith in him. Outside for ball 1. I'm kind of, wow. All right. Now Favazzo with a single his last time up 1 for 3. Bases full of Bulldogs. Fly ball into left. Caught for the out, and that is the ball game. And exhale.
The Lexington Bulldogs 4. With the win, the Blue Sox record goes to 17-4-1 on the season. The loss pushes the Bulldogs to 7-15.
Wow.
Really had to earn that.
Yeah, the Bulldogs, really made the Blue Sox earn that one. But the Blue Sox, with their largest comeback of the season, down 3 after half an inning, and come back with a 4-run bomb the second, then one more each in the 5th and 6th to come away with the 6-4 win and go to 17-4-1 on the season, continuing to be in the driver's seat. They control their destiny if they want to get the first round bye, the number 1 seed. Again, they got the Americans Wednesday at Morelli, 7:30 first pitch. The Expos at Minuteman Tech. Thursday, 7 o'clock first pitch, and the East Boston Knights back here at LHS. Friday night to close out the season at 8 o'clock first pitch. All those games here on the Blue Sox Baseball Network on YouTube. Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to subscribe and follow and support the Blue Sox and the ICL all season long. Again, subscribe to this channel, IntercityLeagueBaseball.com. Don't forget on the Burb, the Book, and the Gram. Once again, the final score from Lexington High School in Lexington, Mass. Lexington Blue Sox 6 and the Lexington Bulldogs 4. For all my Reddit friends here at LHS, my name is Sam Feely. Thanks for tuning in. Love you, Katrina. Party hard, Caitlin.